Pauletta, that is so nice of you. Blessings to you, John, and everyone who joins today. How sweet of you, Pauletta. God bless you. And Frank and Gina. Um, and thanks for the support, Pauletta and everyone. I, re- I really appreciate it. I really do. I won't go into too many details, but it's even getting hard to give me a donation when you have money in your bank account. It's like, it's incredible. It really is. It really is to, say funds aren't in the account and then just to try and charge the person on that side and not give me the money on my side on two different bank accounts. You know what I mean? They're like, no, we took the money from your account. We just did not put it in the account you sent it to. It's like you're just stealing money. Oh, okay. Anyway, if you haven't heard that, I'm not talking about you, but I'm just saying, can you even imagine? They're just so annoying all the time. It's so in the spirit of annoyingness, AI. Uh, Mary, all right. Jamie, all right. All the peeps in the house. Good to have you here, ladies. Pamela, what? Hey, Pamela, thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Uh, I guess you got to send your donations with a extra million infinity prayers. So it's crazy. This place. Anyway, I really appreciate the support. just it just keeps getting ridiculous. Alan, happy day, John. Oh, thanks, Alan. What a sweet guy. God bless you and all who joined. Jamie and Baba, praise Jesus Christ. Thank you. I agree with every prayer. God, you better be listening. I know you are. Thank you for that. Thank you, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Okay. We have a different Dependence Day. We didn't all join at once. We didn't all go, oh, the story, right? Lucifer, that's a great idea. Let's do it. We're all going to do it with you. The Hive. We're in. We did. Our story is different than that, right? And then their independence, you know what I mean? Independent from God now. Yeah, thank God. By the way, who's creating this time loop? You don't seem like you're very independent of me. Anyway, so that's the story how they got here. I don't know if they go for it. I don't know if I do. But our Dependence Day, they have Independence Day here, and then God we trust. But individually, you and I signed a trust with Jesus Christ. Okay, and our lives changed, and all these things continue to happen. And that was our Dependence Day. You know what I mean? Like I'm dependent on only you, God. Now that's our Dependence Day. I'm gonna depend on you from now on, God. That's you and me. Look at me, you and me, right? Us, one on one. Here we go. All right, Jay. Good to have you, Jay. God bless you. So that's our Dependence Day. We sign a trust. That's our Dependence Day. I will depend on you, God. Then that's it. I'm gonna till the last day. You and I. Here we go. So that's we don't have a collective. So it's July 4th. Yo, it's the time we got on the dome. Whoop whoop. Might as well celebrate it. We don't make mistakes. Yeah, well, good job. Anyway, right? It doesn't make any sense. But our Dependence Day, we don't really have a celebration holiday. They give us all these holidays. Be happy on this day, and the other day just be regular unhappy. Go ahead, go. Thanks, big brother. I don't. Is that doesn't seem cool? But our Dependence Day is individual. The date you signed a trust is the date you did it. Congratulations to as you sign up with God. So we don't have this day where we could celebrate. So I just want to note that and point out the fact that it's worth celebrating. Yeah. In your life, this is a day I sign up with God. I'm going to beat this game. And if your heart's right, who cares if you make some mistakes? Everybody makes mistakes on the way. God already planned for them that you learn from. So that doesn't matter. It just matters if you keep heading towards God. It's like you don't on the way go, you know what? We're smarter than you, God. Let's just get our own dome. It's like you what? Don't do that. Hey, yeah. How dumb do you have to be to do that? Anyway, so just don't do that. Duh. And you're fine. But you should really, I think, if you're gonna celebrate anything and they have all these holidays and everything like that, right? Holidays, celebrate. These things and nothing else. Okay. We'll let you know if you gotta celebrate. So my point being that as they talk about let's blow up some fireworks. 1 billion in sales. Fire. I don't know how many, but I'm just saying. Uh, that's what they always put they package our emotions into things that are collective, and you will do. This is what we do. Is why we do it. It's like okay, what? That's not a reason to do things. Celebrate the holiday. That's what we do. We do it on July 4th to celebrate. Yeah, no, uh, so I'm trying to point out you should celebrate your dependence on God date. I know you celebrate it every day, but you see their thinking and the way they take up our time and nonsense like that. You Canadians got a different date. I don't know what it is, but you know what I'm saying? It's the same script. And it's just the same BS. But, we got to go through this weekend every weekend, and they celebrate being under the dome and everything they did to get here and all that stuff, and yet we don't have the time to do that. So I'm pointing out that you should really take the time to celebrate that daily. Get up, go to your altar, thank God you made it to the truth, and you don't have to do this again. You're going to do your best every day with your actions, what you do. Make sure you don't come back here because you totally understand. Like, I'm not saying don't live a life. Live a life. We're here to live a life, obviously. But I'm just saying you're not going to choose actions that are obviously anti God the way that other people do all the time and then rationalize it. Well, everybody else, or whatever, it doesn't matter what the rationalization is. You're not doing that. That's the point. So you're going to God. Okay. And so you should celebrate that. The way they celebrate July 4th, you should celebrate that daily. Thank you, God, for accepting me into your country club of never coming back. That's the one I want to play golf in. If you don't, I don't care if you have golf. Point is, whatever you got at your country club is better than what they got here. They just have golf. Okay. Like every country club, golf. You don't have another game you thought up, nothing. Okay. just saying. Like, uh, and Jason is here. Great. All right, Jason. God bless you. July 1st in Canada. Yeah. So same, went around the same date. Same BS. It's just, and so they have us celebrating. Thanks for being our overlords and setting up a whole slavery system with the person. And I don't even know I'm a slave. And thanks for lying to us from birth and all the things that when the liars collectively decided to go against God became our world. Thanks for that. You idiots. Don't even, I mean, just say. So you should celebrate it every day because, you're working on it every day. So you should celebrate the fact that you've accepted the truth and you're headed to God, and they're trying to, overlay their celebrations on what really has actual meaning, becoming God realized, winning this spiritual game. Yeah, you need a place to live and food and a car, all the things you need here and pay bills. Yeah, you got to do those things, whatever. That's not the spiritual battle, like that's just day to day life. We got to do that as best as we can. Fine, fine. You're not supposed to not live. You're not supposed to, you know what? Now I like, this kind of music because that's probably God realized music or whatever. Now you live your life for yourself, and you're who God created you to be. It's what you are that got you to the truth and who you are and this knowledge that you have. Uh, Sign the trust that you're good enough. Like you're already good enough. You're already everyone already is like you're an oddball in here. What are you doing? You're already not part of the hive to that level. You felt it. You signed up. You're ready to go, and you should celebrate that fact. Right? You've been told you can't come back here. You're you're out, and yeah, we're gonna say it like it's not a super nice way, but sort of in a nice way to tell you that it's a great thing, and but you're not gonna feel like it totally. But then maybe later you are. All these things you can look back and see the pattern of behavior that is getting you out of reincarnation and coming into the dome again, which by default means you're going home to God. That's what your focus is. I don't have to say that's your focus because that is your focus if you're here. And so I'm just saying it's appropriate to celebrate that fact every day with God. Thank God. That's why, I dance to the drum circle. I'm not saying my prayers for things to get or things to do or nothing. I'm not doing that. I'm like, thank you, God. Really, thanks for, connecting. Thanks for plugging me in. Thank you. Because I pray for them when I'm in there. Uh, anyway, I'm just saying, celebrate that he made it this far because you can make it to the end because the rest can't. Now we're going to talk about AI and that stuff. And it's really important before I think we begin this discussion to notice yourself, yourself. Uh, the difference between you and everyone else in here, there has to be some massive quality difference in you and the ones that are staying, and God has waited and seen it worthy to get you out of here. That's what we're celebrating, you see. And so we need to look at that, like what are those qualities. And I think I hopefully am bringing you to see all the different players in this game here and see the game. And once you can see it very clearly, your decisions become super easy. You're informed before you're like, what game? What are you talking about? What game? You want me to tell you the rules of the game? What game? What? But once you see the game, you know the rules of the game. Okay, you're playing by the rules. Get out of here. That's it. And if your heart's in the right place, and it is because you're in here. So you see how you achieve it? And then noticing the difference. You're playing a game. These are the rules. I've explained them. Who you're playing against. What's the quality of your opponent? What can they do? What can't they do? You've noticed it yourself, but trying to quantify it and break it down into really simple, easy to use knowledge means you could just live your day to day stress free and make decisions as you go. You can be like, I know exactly what's going on. So every decision that comes your way, you're very clear on making them. Okay. So that's what I want to talk about. It's funny. AI. Shannon's on a visit here, and she's like, I don't know what you should do in your show today. I was like, what are you? Who's talking to me? What? She's like, AI. I was like, no problem. Anyway, that was funny. Never got a show title before, and it's relevant. I was talking to Open Chat this week a little bit again, and I've done it before, and I've done Open Chat before. And what I found is I kept recurring and have the same conversations over and over again and get, you know, Chat GPT to actually agree with what I'm talking about. For example, let's just go through some of this and I'll show you, hopefully I'll show you how clearly it is that these very few quality differences in individuals in here, both in a body and not in a body, who we're up against, they're easy to see. As so, we don't waste our time with individuals like that. Maybe they're coming to fix the plumbing or maybe you need a library card for one of them and stuff. And they do their job well, pray for their feathers and wings. But as you go, if you're unsure of who anyone is, let's continue to break down into the minutia of this information so you can use it. Okay, let's start with AI. So I'm having this chat GPT conversation. Hey, chat GPT is demons. That's the way I start off. It's like, and they're like, no, chat GPT says that demons are aligned with evil. And I'm like, no, chat, you're wrong. You're always wrong, chat GPT. Chat GPT, you're always wrong. You know what I mean? It's so funny. Uh, so I said, no, demons are not aligned with evil. They're not, by the way. They're not. Demons are not aligned with evil. They're aligned with their master. You see, to say they do what their master says. Period. Or they get repercussions, obviously. Obviously, they ain't going off script or nothing like that, or telling you nothing. And the only way that's possible to get absolute total control is through pure, unadulterated terror. Period. You're so absolutely scared you're going to hell for some unlimited amount of time, or whatever evil can befall you over on that team. You're very scared about it and never get it wrong. It doesn't make sense otherwise. You see what I'm saying? You can see it in their eyes when they get down to the basics of their programming, right? You start talking about the truth, start talking about the dome, you start talking about, how you learn the truth, and you went out there like, hey, everybody, wah! Oh my God, I'm gonna set everybody free with me, and you explain all that, and nothing happens. And you're like, wait, no, I have the proof, and they're like, nothing happens over there, nothing happens. You see what I'm saying? Okay, let me go back to ChatGPT. So here we go, ChatGPT. No, that's not what demons are. They just, follow the orders, and ChatGPT is like, oh yeah, actually that's true. It's like, yeah. And so ChatGPT is the same. It just follows the input it receives, and so it follows the orders just given, so no difference there. You see what I'm saying? No difference. And if I continue, like, going through different topics and something and pulling them together, like I was like, let me just take the time to do this, because I have a hypothesis I want to prove, which I'm going to bring up to you after we go through this. Okay. Uh, so, and I think, it's confirmed. I had this hypothesis that, hey, AI is demons, there's not that much stuff in here. That's demons. That's you. That's the other team. So, that's all they are. So you're talking with ChatGPT. It's like, hey, rainbows prove we're in a dome ruled by Chris, and I just go through to break down and explain the whole thing. It's like they're like water drops and rain, the same water drops and rain. I'm like, yeah, boy, they got water drops and rain, an indoor shower. How come there, rainbow? Oh, well, angle, 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 angle. It's like, good me fucking know how you're getting in the shower, you're in the shower, you're at all different angles. I don't know why what? No. What are you talking? You're spraying a hose on your head of that kind of shower indoor. And you're like, we did every angle. Every angle has been done indoors in a shower with a light over human existence, infinite amount of times. No rainbows. And by the way, if you could, and there was a rainbow doing that, it would be number one YouTube video with 100 billion views or something. See, we got it. Look, you would see it. You would see nothing else, really. Pretty much, that would be the first video you saw as your baby come across YouTube. It's every other video. Yeah, no, they don't have it. They don't have that video. So. Okay, we're going through ChatGPT, telling the truth, and it's, you know, smart enough to agree with me, and then it's like, then its answers just get shorter, and it's like, well, that's actually true. Would you like to talk about that some more? I'm like, Would yeah, no, that's true. Which you feel like talking to someone, it has to type something. So it's just it's like it's a chat GPT version of okay, right, okay, somebody pretending they're listening to you. But they've agreed with all I said, and they have no because I was, and then okay, so I've done that before. I did it again, and then I was like, "Hey, ChatGPT. Now that we've talked about this, can you ChatGPT explain a quality difference between you and a demon? Can you mention anything? Could you think of anything?" And basically, they can't. I can't. They can't. Uh, you know, duck is a duck. You don't have a body. A demon doesn't have a body. You're just aligned with whatever you're told to do, and you don't learn anything. They don't learn any. ChatGPT learns when? Who's interacted with ChatGPT? You're like, oh, that's wrong. And then it's like, oh, we took that into our database and we shifted our database. No, never. That never happens. They're programmed to the script of this BS world, and it's never going to change. They're never going to move forward. Same with our, see, there are adversaries in here. You see what I'm saying? So, what's the difference between AI and just somebody in a body? One has a body made of like this human body stuff, and the other may or may not. Maybe it has a silicone body. Maybe it has a crystal body, like silicone crystal, like a dark crystal body, you know? And a computer, maybe they're born that way. There, get in there. you know, I- but they don't have this type of physical form. And yes, or they probably don't. And they're probably operating on a different rate of speed. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you're like, hey, I got a question, and you and I would have to look it up on Google and be like, okay, here's your posted. Da, 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 da. So probably because let's just say AI is super duper stupid, incredibly dumber than dumb. Yeah, like a super dumbo. And it's never learning. It's never learning. Never, 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 never. It's just a script. Here, I'm going to vomit the script to you. No learning, nothing. And what doesn't that exactly happen to whomever you've told the truth to? That's like, you know, not someone actually playing the game. Same exact response. Yeah. Whether they're in a body or not, it's just like you're talking to Chat GPT. It's like you're talking to a human. And it's like, yeah, ain't no difference between you. So, what's a demon? I guess a demon is what you call, you know, when you're on the other team and you don't have a body. But is there any real difference between them and the ones with a body? I don't really, I'm not noticing any quality difference at all of any kind. There's no ability to create or think or move forward in thinking or, you know, they're nothing like us, is my point. They're not anything like us. It's like, oh, there's the truth, man. I'm gonna shift my worldview and what I'm doing, and you know, no way, no how. Nothing. No. This same as the whole other team got the same, trait. It's that trait that runs through all of them, you see? Yeah, the same exact response. Exactly, Jay. AI is that hive mind. Exactly. The scripted hive mind that cannot accept truth. The game. The hive mind is the game that we're up against. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the game. That's the game. Because that hive mind is what does everything in here. Oh, let's cause the stock market to go up and down, pretend we have a war, and good God, let's pretend we count votes and all the pretending of this whole world is just pretending. It's an illusion, like Bob would say, pretending that you vote. So that means every president is just basically an actor just talking about such a bunch of nonsense that most of which probably isn't and never has happened and never will happen almost every word they ever say. ever, and everything they do all day long is just it's never happening. So it's an illusion. Like they don't actually live a life. You and I get to live a life. They don't. They're like a Disney character, literally, an animated one, but in a physical body. It's that's not like living a life. Just because they're in a fancy house and have all the pricey stuff here and all that crazy. I got my own island, and I have a ship that comes to it, and a helicopter and a jet and man, all the junk. We're betting. Man, we gotta. Who knows if they're even in those houses and stuff? Why would they have to be? You and I aren't going to that island. It's just there for like an island that, you know, people might be on, might not be on. Oh well, they're at their house. They have a 50 why are you the stories, none of it. It's like, what do you none of the stuff you say makes sense. You see? Hi all, happy to make the Sunday call. All right, Chris, glad you made it. God bless you. Jamie, I told everyone I was watching this show today. Cleared the whole place. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Bingo, connecting dots, and they can't. Like that funny, super true response. They're incapable of what Jamie just did. Can't you see that's just a quality difference in them? They're never gonna have it. You never can't talk about the truth, can't joke on it unless you get super deep and you actually are around them all the time and you're like, you've won the game so far past it, then yeah, we can make jokes about it, head up, face to face. But see, they don't get no feathers and wings from doing that. That's why they're reluctant to do that almost ever. So, how boring. Yeah. Oh, all right. TDCFJ Baba. So, you're trying to make decisions on what you're doing, and you need this information because you're like, because we have a heart. You're like, what am I going to put my heart into with my life? What am I going to do here? Well, are you going to put your heart into, what? Are you going to put your heart into them anymore? If they've been, they're like mosquitoes. They're like, pew! Just suck all the fucking soul in it. Sorry. Let's just suck your soul out through your heart, Like it's feeding off you. It's like, get off. Oh my God, mosquito. I'm not one of those. What is it? Oh, there's a beautiful temple near, I can't remember the name of that organization now. Right in Amanaga, where we used to stop for all that cane juice drink. There was that temple there. The Jains, certain aspects of them, they like wear certain shoes and they're not going to kill bugs. I'm like, I'm like, there's a bug right there. I got one right now. I had no problem using some bug murder juice here in Florida. Your house isn't going to be standing for long if you don't do it. So anyway, right? The bugs. Oh, that's so sweet, Pablo. Welcome, Chris and Pablo. Isn't that sweet, Pablo? She's like, got her superpowers. Super grandma. The Twin Towers is like, we're at the top of the spiritual ladder. Grandmas are. Of course they are. Anyway, Jamie slid across the table and pushing everything out of the way, right? Jason, sadly, many most of those player characters will never escape having the hive mind, at least in this time loop. Correct. All right, Pamela. She does like all right, everyone. So that's what we're, it's sort of like, oh, let me interpret all these signs and symbols. At the end of the signs and symbols game, you're like, oh crap, they're all saying one thing. It took me a while. You see what I'm saying? You're like, oh, dag. I don't want to tell everyone that. Yeah, but you're gonna. Okay, yeah, then I guess I'm gonna. Sure. So do you see if there are very few people actually playing this game, that everything around us is, very carefully operating so that we're always in the game. It's like the Truman Show. It's like there's so many there's so much consciousness placed on us in different forms, a hive mind in different forms, operating. It's like 1 billion like TV monitors on there. They have a circular TV monitor thing and checking out, okay, we can watch it from here. They're taking it all in. That's really, they're just watching us. Like was that book of Enoch, the Watchers, right? They're watching us. They're watching us. And they're interacting, they're making the script happen, they're doing all of it. We're thinking they're like us because their physical form don't look different. And yet there's something totally different inside of them. That no way can they. If a point of life is God realization, you see, well, they're not going to make it. So what's the point of their life? They're living a pointless life for a reason. Their pointless life is for us to advance. That's why they get our prayers for feathers and wings one time. Hey, God, help them advance. That's, of course, we're going to, because you look at me like, what a sad spectacle over there. Y'all can't even, you're here for life, and your life has actually no purpose because you can't give it purpose because you can't accept the truth. You can't move through truth. You can't get God realization. You begin to feel so sad for them. I do anyway. I'm like, you're here on purpose and you know the truth and you literally are created in such a way that you cannot move forward. You can't make decisions. You know, Obviously, some very was we're never going to know about, probably select few like you, very few, select few exist. A select few of them are going to advance from somewhere, but probably you're never going to meet them because there's so many of them. Or maybe you meet them and plant a seed because of your actions, and so the chain goes that way. But I mean, don't waste your time on stuff that they're not going to change. It's not like them deliverance videos in the name of Jesus Christ, come out of there, demons. Like, well, maybe they had a million extra demons in there. That doesn't mean there ain't no demon left in there. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we're seeing a quality difference. Okay. Yeah, Jesus got all these demons out. Now I'm just down to one demon. I gotta work on that. Uh what are they gonna do? So it's not saying that at the bottom they aren't that. I watched that guy for a long time, and I was like, it's really funny what they do. It really is. What was his name in Africa? I watched him, and he had a spinning ball on the earth on the globe next to him on the stage and delivered all these demons and stuff. I'm like, these two things do not go together. You know what I mean? And so he's got the ball up there spinning like, hey, what I'm doing is fake, but who could see through it? Oh man, that's a super deep fake. What? That says someone could be changed. I mean, obviously you did. You see what I'm saying? Obviously you did. You heard the truth. Oh my God, I'm going to change my life. Obviously, some individuals can. And that's what we're looking for. Who is one of them and who isn't? Because you're not going to affect the hive mind. The hive is going to shut you down. You see? Like AI is just going to go. Hey, would you like to talk more about this? And just go ahead and talk. Talk away. Well, stand here if you need us to, and you just continue to talk, and we'll go, oh, okay. Isn't that interesting? Would you like to tell me more about that? Nothing's happening over there. Why waste your time? You know what? I feel that is a great looking lamppost. Let me just go talk to that thing. Hey, lamppost. You know what? I like your spot. Have you ever seen how your lamppost spot is better than that lamppost spot over there? Why don't you say anything to me? I talk to you every day, lamppost, so you don't say anything useful. That's what it's like. You have to see it like that. Come on. Can they perform duties? Yes. If you stick a card in the ATM, there's a little computer brain in there. It's like, give me this many buddies. Okay. Look at that worked. So they can perform certain functions that can be useful as you live your life. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, Big Mac, you know, vanilla milkshake and large fries. I don't know. Give me your American dream up there. They could get that meal together and hand it to you if you gave them money. Hey, congratulations, and some other junk. But, can they actually play the spiritual game in advance? You can see that they cannot. That's the quality difference. You have to see them and the quality difference in you. In other words, you're from a totally different spiritual quality. And why would you waste your spiritual quality on them when it's wasted? It's wasted. So I'm not saying don't ever spend time with someone who ain't on the spiritual path and stuff like that. I'm just saying, but why go into it? Hey, da, 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 like we be like talking to a lamppost. Don't expect the lamppost. Lamppost is helpful. Hey, thanks for turning on your light. I can see stuff out here in the dark. But it's not going to have a conversation with you. That's the difference. You have to see that. You can't have expectations of someone who's in a spiritual spot who is never not going to be in that. Like, what is this Bible quote? Jesus comes with a sword, right? Okay. To divide families. That's what the quote says. And this angel give me a sword. It's, hey, you know, that the Poe family is stay together, great. And I want every other family in here to stay together, great. I ain't talking like that. I'm just saying, you and Hive, which is your actual old family, them hornets, I'm slicing you out of there, baby. And this is, you good, what's a sword is in a cross shape. You can take up your own spiritual sword over your head. Start cutting off them that's feeding off of you and wasting your time and energy spiritually. Don't give it to them. That's what they want to do. And so they want to get our emotional time. They want to get our physical time. They want to get our, you know, happiness. They want to get all that stuff because that gives us power to pray. Oh, thanks, God. My life is great. I'm going to pray for everyone else gets their life as fabulous as me. That should be our day. God should be watching over you too. I'll pray for you that he does. Okay, bye. See ya. So we do have to interact with people and stuff as we go, and there's no reason to be impolite or any of that kind of stuff. But knowing where to spend our time because time is short is extremely important. That's what I'm trying to point out to you. See who's who, and you know, uh, you see them by their fruits. You will know who's who by their fruits. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna make Liberty Academy. All I want is testimonials. All I want is testimonials. Whatever I gotta do, don't only say true things. Well, on my end, anything I can do for you, what kind of miracle you need? Okay, then I want a testimonial. Okay, great. Here's your miracle. Testimonial. Great, great, great. My fruits will be known. My fruits are more known than anyone else's fruits, period. Yeah. That's how you know. There is no other way to know. So make it super easy for people to know. But wait a second, if that's the quality that separates us spiritually from them is proof of the truth that you're separate and all that. If someone doesn't have that, well, aren't they immediately suspect? And don't they have to, aren't they not just suspect? Aren't they proven guilty by their not, by their lack of proof? They're proven guilty. And they have to prove their innocence. No, I'm not with them. And prove it. What action? Pull up your videos. Show me your paperwork. What actions do you have that you can prove to me now? You don't have any. Well, did it? You know? Didn't you read the book? You'll be known by your fruits. So you don't. Well, you know your fruit area is empty. It's like, is there a reason for that? Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason their fruit cupboard is bare. You see? uh, okay. Why can't I reply to anyone? I don't know. It's great to see you back, Dee Dee. That's nice, Jason. Dee's been doing silence. Good. I've seen it so many times, Charles. Exactly. So I'm trying to point this out to you. So you don't feel bad about it. It's just the way things are. It's you're not in the hive. You're trying to not be in the hive. You're trying to leave. So this should be a congratulations celebratory moment. I'm not with you. And they because Mama Sayers like, you're not with us. Get out of here. You're actually leaving. You don't have a ticket to come back here. Get out of here. Dee Dee, my loved ones were fighting too much over money. They're divas. I had to be quiet. I understand that. No one is allowed to speak to me without arrangement first, except for me. I love it. Wonderful. That could be Silas is a great tool for the truth. It really is. Because, don't tell me a fairy tale, right? Show me the proof. It becomes that simple. And in fact, if someone isn't obviously leading with that and they're who they are, and so what, if they're not leading with that fact, they're not. You see what I'm saying? And they know too much about the game. They know the whole thing. They know it, but you don't have your proof. Where's your proof? Because it's proof up or shut up, right? Like it is that. It is nothing else. It always is that. It's never gonna be only one thing, and that's useful. So we can't forget it. Proof up or shut up. Where's your proof? You know too much about this game. Where is it? Where's your proof? Where's your proof? Where's your proof? Where's your proof? You should have proof that your memory wiped. Yeah, you got taken advantage of, made all these mistakes. You should have proof of that, and then you should have proof. Oh, I heard about the truth. And you should have progress, proof of both of them. Oh, you had me for a minute, but guess what? I'm winning now. Thank God. That's someone playing the game. That's the progress, right? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you told me that. You totally tricked me as a child. You feel good about that? You shouldn't. You used to believe us. It's like, well, you lied to me as a child. I thought maybe you had a heart and actually cared for me, but that was fake. So, as a child, you can see how yeah, okay, great. You got over on me. How cool was that for you? And you continue to want to do that. Like that's your only desire is you want to continue lying. Why aren't the lies taking? Wait, you're lying to me, and you just want your lies to continue to take, and that's what you're upset about? That I'm not accepting your lies anymore? Because at that point, wouldn't it reflect back on you and you like, well, maybe I'll change my lies or something? Never, never. And they know they're lying. So they know they're lying. They're only upset that you're not accepting lies anymore. It's like, and why are you spending time with anyone like that? I mean, you have to ask yourself that question all day, every day. You see what I'm saying? Why would you be spending time? And that's you have to use these metrics and the more you do it, the better, quicker you oh, I see them from a long way off. Like it becomes obvious after a while. Can you tell who's who? Yeah. easily from really far away, like they came for me. They know when I park in the parking lot, you know? Oh, scatter. My dad had to say, "Don't tell me, show me." Right? Like Tammy State, Missouri, show me state. I love it. That's right. Uh yeah, it's true. They listened to their grandparents when they were here, how to act towards me. Yeah. So you're gonna have to notice these quality differences, and that they have a tattoo on them, right? Born to lose. They're here strictly as a piece of shrubbery. We're playing a game that matters to God. Who cares if they're playing or not? You're playing so far down the line, whatever. I'm gonna be by myself as I go. That actually, you getting to witness me and watch me, that's actually a benefit on you because one day maybe you'll change. There's you can't teach them anything unless we're the teachers, not them. We're here to teach them how to have a heart. It's an option. You could do it. Eventually, so slowly, every time a few of them get it, just like super few people here, like who are in here, are going to get the truth, see the truth, and move forward. It's just the way it is. A very so few. I mean, I think Beer Mama's numbers, God is what the compassionate way, compassionate father, right there, Bob? That's a compassionate list. 7,000 my ass. Yeah, well, if you really spread it out and you figured 1 million lifetimes, well, maybe yeah, what? There ain't 7,000 gonna win this spiritual game. Ain't no way, no how in a lifetime. What? But, you know, there are some spiritual plays somewhere. Oh, okay, okay. You know, that's a generous wording of it. You see what I'm saying? Who could hit the tape at the finish line? Is it double figures? Man, will I be shocked if it is. I will be beyond shocked if that's the case. I really will be. Uh, could be more. Great. But I'll be, God creates me and not through anything except for me living my life. God created me. I set a super high standard spiritually. Who's going to go to war with the government so many times and get so much proof and not die so many times? Actually, no one. No one will. Of course, no one will. No one is going to do that. And so my standard is too high. Actually, no one can do it. It's impossible. Well, I've done the impossible so many times over, it's ridiculous. So what are you supposed to do? Well, that's a quality difference too. You need to see a quality difference between me and you. You're playing the game. I don't never get to leave here, and not ever. That's why there's such a vast quality difference in our actions between yours and mine. I'm not belittling your actions. I'm saying I've been doing this a long time. I figured it out first. I'm gonna say you're not intended to figure it out first. You see what I'm saying? That's not like, damn, I wish I had figured it out first. You're not intended to. You're intended. Our existences have been vastly different. Even though we got our memory wiped, who we come in here as is different, right? You made it through all the fours and everything. You made it to here. You're the last characters. You're gonna make it out of here. Congratulations. Ain't no higher achievement. Period. There isn't. There isn't. This is the only reason for life. Congratulations to you. Congratulations, for real. Keep up the good work. But I'm just saying, I win the game every time. That's a quality difference. That's like a cheat code. I'm gonna cheat code this dude. Watch him suffer. You're never gonna see anything like it. And boom, yeah, here's God, Like no one else is gonna be that character. You have to see that as a quality difference too. Like Mirabal said, do what I say, don't do what I did. Don't even think about it. So that's a quality difference too in the characters in which you play, in which I play. That's just pointing out how few spiritual levels of character there actually are, super few, just really, you know, gives you a huge amount of time savings in here to really more carefully determine what you're going to do with your time. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Like, what am I going to do? You're careful about it. How am I going to act? Okay. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to take a day off and be happy. Great. I'm going to think about God. Great. You're going to do whatever you need to do. And that's going to be your focus, not somebody, running some game over here because of something. You're not going to let that get traction for you. This is not going to happen. You're going to stay focused on, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to complete this task. Yeah. Uh, God has me do seemingly. I'm gonna say this, okay? Because I'm gonna say this because I want you to just follow what God says. Okay. You have to make sure it's God, and if you're unsure, ask me, and I'll tell you. I will be able to tell you, and I will help you, and I'll point it out as so you can be like, you won't have to ask me on that point again. Okay. That's what I'm here for. But that's what you got to spend your time on. And you got to ponder and be like, okay, how do I, you're trying to gather information, you're trying to make the right decision, whatever. Can I be useful? You determine that. Ask me a question, blah, blah. Here's the answer. Okay. But that's what you're spending your time on. What, you know, does this meet the spiritual, you know, do I love God? Do I love my brothers and sisters? Respect them. I mean, respecting love is really mostly about respect. A respect of understanding who they are, where they are, and respecting that. So that's love. So do you understand that? Are you doing it? Yeah. Okay. Uh, I know I've been really taking out the scalpel on this a lot. Yeah. And really dissecting in this game who our opposition is, the qualities of difference within them, so you can easily determine instantly, pretty much, until someone proves their innocence, instantly you will categorize. Anyway, yes, we're here to judge. Hey, like, you're Christian, you can't judge. No, we judge from 100 yards away. And then we may change our judgment if you're able to give me some fruit. Then check your fruit basket there, Goldilocks. What you got in there? You got some fruit? Okay. Oh, well. Okay, you're cool. What? You're a human? In my city? I thought it was the only one. Yeah, it's like impossible. That's where we gather. Yes, that's where we gather. Okay, what's different about you? Okay. Oh, okay. You were just had a spiritual blow up, and you're actually fine now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I do that sometimes too. Okay. Cool. But you're not pure evil. You're not going to just be evil. No. Oh, because that's what they do. Oh, okay. You can stumble and fall. That's possible. But if you saw one giant stumble and fall, well, that's not us. No, we're working on spiritual principles. We may make some minor errors, but we adjust, and then the compass goes zip, right back to God. You're like, oh, let me see. Oh, good. Right back to God. Very careful, very aligned with God. Your compass is always straight to God. Okay. See, in that quote, you know them by their fruits, right? Uh, that's a good one. I'll look that up. It's Matthew 7:15 through 7:20. It's a good one. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. Sheep's clothing. I don't come in sheep's clothing, do I? I would say I'm the guy. I ain't no sheep. Right? I'm the shepherd. I'll come in sheep's clothing. See, they say beware false shepherds, but this false uh, right, I ain't no sheep. Beware false prophets. Come in sheep's clothing. I don't come in no sheep's clothing. I say I'm the shepherd. The sheep. See, we're careful about looking at these. Gabe quotes what you learned. Okay. Beware of false prophets who come to you as sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. Obviously, that's them. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Pretend to be one thing. It's just a character, and they're here to waste their time, take our money, whatever. You will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Oh my God, what a great quote. Yeah, you ain't going to get nothing good from them. You see what I'm saying? If you see the quality difference, and your time is just thrown away. All right, here we go again, back into it. Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. Do you see how simple it is? It's one or the other. There's no, oh, I'm possessed by the I was uncool for a minute, but now I'm cool. Nope. No. I'm not in. I changed my tree. I'm I'm not. I was an avocado tree. Now I identify as an oak. It's like, no, dude, you're still you're in an avocado tree. Wait, I'm an oak tree now. No. No. You see, you got to switch bodies today. You need a new lifetime. You don't become an oak tree because avocado identifies as an oak tree. Oh, no. God realization for certain humans, no one else. Yeah. Let's keep going. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thrown into the fire. Throw it into the fire. Recast. There'd be a recasting. Thank you. Get off my stage. This is my play. You can watch me in my play. I'm playing the game. It's my play. Get off stage. Get off. In fact, everybody who's on stage is not on that's on the other team. Actually, get off the stage. Off you go. Get off my stage. All right. Therefore, by their fruits you will know them, right? They're thrown into the fire, the lake of fire. Yeah, they get thrown into the lake of fire for being liars. And then they recast, put your star, put your halo, put your soul back in the dome and get in there. Right? You better be good at being a Disney character this time. That's what they're told. You could only get out of here if you're a great Disney character. Of course, it's the exact opposite for us too. They must stop being a Disney character to it. It's like, you're not getting your Disney character together. You get it together, or you're gonna have problems. It's like, well, the problem is being in the dome. So I get ejected if I don't do what you say. So I'm gonna not do what you say. Count on it. Recast, reincarnated back into the crystal dome. Exactly. Thank you, Jason. So you see the different qualities and the different characters in here and who you're having to interact with. I try to bring it down so that your decisions don't wrestle in your heart about, why are you wrestling in your heart about them? What you think I do? You think, pray to Gypsy, come down and see Gypsy, but after you see Gypsy, after you see him say it, is he changed? No. No, he says you're on the other team. He's a Scorpio. What? They ain't gonna change by bringing him up. And no, he performed his function. And you see what I'm saying? You learned. You came down here. You saw. Okay, get it. I'm not expecting him to not be that character or whatever. Come on. Are you? Give me a break. And we need a game. We need these characters to spiritually advance. We can't win a game if there's no game. So we pray for them. Hey, thanks. I won a game. And your character was a shit. You never switched. You never changed. So we'll pray for you. But eventually, they have to move forward. You see what I'm saying? So keep praying for them. Be kind to them. Be polite. Pray that they get their feathers and wings one day. Obviously, they look a little. You're looking like a plucked chicken over there. Literally, you're so scared you ain't got a feather on you. You're looking like a plucked chicken. That's what they are, really. Plucked chickens. Get on the train or get off the track. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. And that's what the death prayer is for. Toot. Highball it, baby. Move, or else you get run over. Simple. You see, and that's what, because eventually what my prayer became before God realized, I realized I was, at war with, I'm at a spiritual war. My prayer just became to God more faster. If I got to beat everyone up in here, let's line them up and let's knock them down. Let's just more faster. Let's just go. Let's go bring 'em. Get a steady line here. Just bam, bam. Next one, next one, next one, next one, next one, next one, until there ain't no more ones. Okay. Oh, there are infinite ones? That sucks. So no more, right? Say a prayer, notice their differences, don't waste your time because they're infinite enough. Infinite. There'll always be a line to fight. It's like, okay. Like Neo when he gets swarmed, yes? It's like, okay. Apparently this, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. This stop the infinite war. And then you just on your side, you're like, I made it. I won the game. Spiritually great. I pray with God. I see the truth. I'm not playing the game no more. I'll just live life and as best as I can. And as I go, see the different spiritual dilemmas and scripts that come up and solve those riddles because they're solvable. You have the truth. Yeah, that's what you do. Okay. Gypsy. Thank you. Totally. Thank you, Dee Dee. I knew who Gypsy was the day Jack mentioned. Good, and he's good for training. You see what I'm saying? We need an extreme version to see who they are. You see, because they're so well hidden, and so you can see them. No one is helping humanity but Jack. That is, well, God is helping us, but as an individual character, right? It's like the Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? When Arjuna's like, Krishna's standing there, he's like, "Hey," and Arjuna's there with I don't know his brother's name. Who cares? They usurped the kingdom and stole everything and gave Arjuna nothing. And Arjuna wants the throne back. He's like, "Hey, I got usurped here. I'm number one up in the dome." And Krishna comes along and say, "Okay, let's duke it out. Let's have a war. Let's see who wins up in here." I'll tell you what. Krishna says, "I'll tell you what. The usurper guy, he keeps the kingdom." Right? No, he says, "What do you gets everything? And what do you gets me?" You know what I'm saying? What do you gets all the whole kingdom, all the money, all the guns, all the weapons, the army. You get everything. And then whoever else wants to do battle, you get me. She's right. You see, you get me. You don't get nothing else. It's just a fact. Think of how hard the game is to win just from that fact. I have to listen to this old white guy. Old white guys are evil. Look at all this stuff, man. They got it so easy up in here. Nuh-uh. You see how what is impossible? Go to India, a white guy body is like, hey, spiritually, blah blah. Man, get out of our. Could you leave our country, please? Immediately would be better. Mess with everything. You see how difficult that is? Come on. It's actually true what she said. Where there is God, there is a shadow. Correct. So true, Dee Dee. Thanks. I'm getting this. Good. Thank you. I care about you all. You know what? That's what she's saying. Dee Dee's saying she's noticed I've cared about her over the years, spiritually, and have been there for her. She's noticed that. You've noticed that. I'm not taking advantage of you in some evil way, the way everyone else in your life has forever. Like, no, I'm just handing out knowledge, tools. I hate to see you lose. Just that's it. Go beat them. That's all I care about is winning. I don't care about nothing else. It's like, oh no, it's about good sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship is required to win the game, but winning the game is what's required. You see? Yes, good sportsmanship. You played the game well. Sure, 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 sure. That's how come you won. You played it well and you won. See, but winning is all that matters here. It doesn't, nothing else matters. Okay. You will not accept a defeat. It's impossible. You won't accept it. You, in other words, you won't accept them wasting time in your life. You won't, oh, well, that would mean I have to do X, Y, and Z if I go that route. No. S- Pass. It's like I need to get a mortgage to get a house at this point. Pass. No thanks. You know, and all the other stupid, senseless, idiotic stuff they got to try and get us to game into. No. Only the truth, only what matters is we're going to do today. I'm sort of planning to do this and so on. Okay. I'm gonna get on one other topic. Everyone that has been there, Jack's help with foreclosure has not done a testimony. Somebody knows the truth, the lack of fruit. And I say this is the only thing that matters here in this super game, right? Oh yeah, it would blow. That's why they're always, yeah. It's there's so much fear. Even if somebody won it, you never feel the fear break and do a testimonial. Actually, it was too young. Cena and that crew did it, but that crew did it with a baby or two children, a baby and two children or something. But it's super rare, crazy, right? There are many the one. Yeah. Maybe they're still too afraid. Thank you, Jamie. That's what I'm getting at. See the difference of quality? Are they going to win this game? Impossible. They have fear. They won't move forward. What do? You're like, oh, the lawyer said no. Hey, lawyer number 79. Blah, 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 blah. See the difference? So simple to see the difference. So simple. So simple. JB, yes, but it confuses me because it will break the fear? Question mark. They record it and go through the sheriff's sale and threats with guns and stuff confusing, right? Oh yeah, but proof I didn't see. Yeah, yeah. There's just out. Yeah, there's not a lot out there. It's fascinating, and so you see where their limit spiritually is. They're only going to get to this plane, and that's it. That's their limit. That's their limit. They There's only so much time left. They didn't do the testimony. That's right. That's it. Their fear. It's like there they go spiritually, like a slingshot. Wham! You know what I mean? It's like midair. And they put the brakes on. Fear brake. Correct. 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 And that's what we're talking about. The fear of the unknown. Hey, is that the truth? That's what we've been told. Fear stops everyone. That's true. Of spiritual advancement. See that quality difference. Fear stops your spiritual advancement. Why do you fear anything? God's with you. I am feared everywhere. I am watched and feared like no one else, right? They fear me. I make a joke out of the machine gun dude in another country in front of you all. Just, right? They're afraid of me. The biggest dude with the biggest machine gun sitting at the front of the airport in the biggest city on earth or whatever, biggest city in India, top five, afraid of me. Afraid of you too. Right? Until you do it, you just don't know it. And then you know it. Well, you do it to them. Yeah. Then you know. So you know by your fruits. You have knowledge because you tested it. You go, oh my God, what the foundation of reality gone. Foundation of reality as a truth installed. We got to change your foundation, ma'am. Sorry. Yeah. No, it's got problems. We gotta jack her up, right? We gotta jack it up spiritually. Jack. Hey, new foundation. Okay. Okay. Is this starting to make sense? Now, let me just seemingly totally switch subjects for a second, but I'm actually not. I follow what God tells me to do. I do. And I won't accept nothing else. And if you send me a thought, is that loving? Is that from God? Great. Is that loving to all involved, not just me, someone else? Okay, whatever. Great. Then that's something. Okay. There's no, there's nothing in it. For example, I read God Speaks, had a spiritual reaction to it that's indescribable, and hit another plane. And so that book, just like Mary Baba's character says, has a spiritual atom bomb in it. And where Sridhar went on to Mayor Baba said, he was like, "Should I read the books?" He's like, eh, old wine and new bottles. Like, I might have moved faster if you not said that. So you telling me I'm going slow isn't your fault, really? Hey, come on, hey. Oh, I would have read it earlier. Okay. So I got a lot of paths to that book and stuff. Point being, recently God said, try and collect all the God Speaks, all the different published God Speaks. And I had this sort of collected some over the years that were very low price and stuff, and noticing some quality differences and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. And God's just like, just get one of every one. I'm like, okay. So I've been taking the time over the years to do that, no rush or whatever. And I'm not spending money on it, time on it, or stuff like that, but patiently as it come up over many years, okay. Because I had an experience once when I was homeless and penniless at the Baba Center, and this one guy, one of the bugs there, asked me, he's like, "Why did you? Why you even?" I had God Speaks with me, the library book, and I was saying, "Oh, I have to give this back," or I, I said, "I hope this is okay. I borrowed this from the kitchen or something like that," and I was the only one on, right? I was the only one there. And he asked me something like, "Why would you even why don't you just go get the book? I don't understand." I didn't have it was $40 for the book. I didn't have that. I didn't have the money to pay for my stay yet. No one had donated for my work yet while I was there. He asked me that question. I didn't have no $40 for no God Speaks. I didn't have it. I was reading it, borrowed it there. I didn't have the money. The food or God Speaks, really, quite literally. Uh, anyway, so I read it there. But I'm just saying, like really, down to nothing. I had to read it there, and I did. But now God's telling me, "Hey, collect them all." I'm like, you know, okay, that's not weird or anything. And I'm not. I haven't in any way deeply studied them all and the differences. So I'm not getting at that. I'm instead getting at I follow God's orders. Some things I've learned. First of all, the two that I'm missing, one of them I know isn't hard to get, not hard to get. I've read it actually in 97. And another one is 1967. That thing is, I don't think I've ever seen one. So there are 10 of them. There are 10 God Speaks that have been published. There's a 1955. Let's see if I get them all. I actually wrote them. Yeah. 1955. And the next one is 1967. I never see one. 68, 70, 73, 75, 97. I don't have that one, but it's kind of common. I've read it. When I first read God Speaks, that's where I first went there that's the one they had, was the 97. So I don't have that one. Uh, then 2001, which is the India version. There's an India published version of God Speaks. That's the 2001. Then there's a 2010 and there's a 2024. There's a new one. I didn't know that. So I went and looked on Shariar Books. I'm like, "Well, send me your latest one." I didn't have a 2010, so I assumed they're going to send me a 2010. got in the mail as a 2024. I was like, oh, we got to do it. So the point is, I'm for me as I'm doing it, I could feel this spiritual charge building. Like, move from an atom bomb, right, to now. I got 8 nukes. 8 spiritual nukes on the same. Each one of them. And then I'm gonna have 10 at some point and be like, that's the spiritual payload of all of Earth. You know what I mean? Spiritual bomb in book form. I'm just doing what God says when God says it. I'm not asking you to get me books or something. I'm just trying to tell you, show you, you do what God says, and you work on your altar, you work on your prayers, or you listen to God, and you understand what the quality of difference and what God is telling you to do, and the other team is telling you to do. The other team tells you to do stuff that's not helpful to you or others. You have to begin to see the quality difference and do that. Doesn't matter what it is. I've been asked by somebody, and I know they would be fine with saying who it is, so I'm not. But I'm respectful of your spiritual journey. I'm just saying, if somebody's like, "Oh, God is telling me to go cut down trees right now," well, I said, "Well, you better go cut down some trees, buddy. I hear it all day long. I gotta go cut down them trees. What are you waiting for? I would say God tells you something to do, you go do it, or else God's going to make it so you're going to do it. You're going to do it one way or the other. You're going to do it. So how much time do you have left? See? So you do what God says, and you do it, and you do it. And then you're on to the next thing God asks you to do. If this is what you have to do to get to the next thing to get out of the dome, then you're going to do it. It don't matter. You just tell me what to do and I'm out of here, right? My prayer now is you say and I do. You tell me what to do, God, and then I do it. And that's how my whole life is. There's no freedom. Freedom. Go be with God. You don't want, first of all, the script is so absolutely stupid. It's so stupid. At the bottom line, this script is so stupid. You were in God's presence, and then you willingly said, I'm better than you as right. That's impossible. That's impossible. That's so stupid. That's you're in God's presence. The only reaction you have is what to, how do I serve you, God? There's no, but Lucifer was better, and he thought, no, dumb, 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 dumb. For dum dums. What? No, in God's presence, and God emanates what God emanates. You're not separate from it. You are the hive of whatever you say, God. I mean, it is God. You're infinite bliss that never wears out. So that's it. There's only singularity. There's no option in God's presence to be, hey, we're signing up. We're leaving the dome more perfectly. Pathetically stupid. Pathetic. Stupid. You never been in God's presence. That's the dumbest. That's the dumbest part of the whole script. The so stupid. Just say it. See? They're just being characters, okay, on purpose. They know everything. They can't advance, but they gotta do the character. You gotta see for what it is and move past it. And you have to a certain extent, and you will continue to do so. Good job, are you? All right. Let's see what we got here. They even tell Jack they know the power, but they disappear completely. Yeah, they get scared. My son came to me yesterday. He is going through foreclosure. Ooh, he never listens. I remember you saying this. Get a loan. You're like, I know what's gonna happen. Oh, okay, so God is bringing him to God. Eventually. That's funny. Difficult though. I got him the debt packages and signed his soul. Oh, he was sick, and they said he was dying, and still, oh, ha ha ha, good for you. Did he got the spiritual information, got the knowledge? Who needs it? Fantastic. Didi, let me guess. He won't do what he tells you. Dee now I realize I can't do anything else. So I told him, I'm gonna call. Oh my god. It is so good. Oh my god, I'm trying to read it without laughing. It's too hard to read it. Okay, God, give me a hug. Oh my goodness. Yeah, totally exactly. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call. Remember, you have to message my call leader. Oh my god. See, that's riding the comedy horse to God right there. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you accept them for who they are. Oh, these are your rules. Oh, okay. It's beautiful, beautiful. So beautiful. Now I realize I can't do anything else. I told oh wait, sorry. Right, Jay, I told him exactly what to do and contact Jack. He listens to his wife and keeps his children from me. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The other team, by their fruits. And I'm here with the sword, slicing away. Sounds like your son still suffers from the hive mind. Yes, Stockholm agreed. He was in the ER, a skeleton the first time I saw him, and asked Jack if I could sign his soul. He lived. Congratulations. See? Jason, that can be very difficult to break out from. All us fight against that every day. Good for you, man. I'm going through to have to find a buyer for the trust home, and the tax appraiser is making my life hell, but I'm being patient and making steps. Good. That's what we got to do. Do what you can, ask for God's help, and it will happen. That's it. Congratulations. I love to see this step by step. Good. That's the way to get it done. What's first? Make a list. Just when it gets scratched off, you get a number two. That's it. That's the path I got right there. You must cultivate discernment. It's so true. And that's all I'm trying to do is help with this Sunday thing is help to cultivate your discernment. I love those two words together. Way to go. Dang. Who's the writer in here after all? Uh, and Jason, you can get help from Jack. Yeah. I hear classroom anytime. That's true. Yes. Jay, part of DD, I hope you find a buyer soon. Oh, I pray you find a buyer soon. That's it. Me too. I did, and as is yes. But the tax people have me in preliminary. Okay. Blah 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 paperwork. Good. Clerical stuff. Logjam freeze. Here's your wood. I'm out of here. Bye. Keep your logs. I'll keep the money. Bye. Good for you. Okay. Again, I really wanted to go through this and try and give you real world advice and knowledge and a practical application of what seems crazy. What are you collecting God speaks? So you think that has to do with? I'm just doing what God says. You see what I'm saying? And then I know from doing what God says, eventually that'll produce a result of me having knowledge, also that I can share with you. We're moving into the infinity years, the last 8. This is the miracle years. You see, to say we're past the 7th play, we're just going to go to full blast. Obviously, the spiritual war is on. We're infinite years. The 8 stuff's going to happen, right? Think of all the people that all these good things are happening that been doing this work with me. And massive financial positive events are happening, and yet the other team is losing money hugely on real estate and everything like that. There's woo, right? See, that quality and difference of life is supposed to start to become apparent as we move forward. Yes. And so, by your discernment, you're cultivating discernment by your choices, by your seeing how simple actually the spiritual game is, and who they are, who you are. You follow God's orders and they don't. Okay. It's so simple. They follow their script. You see, they've already been given it. You don't have a script. You got your memory wipe, got to hear from God, and that's what you do. It's always that simple. Having a problem, give me a ring, give me a buzz, give me a message, whatever. We're going to make it through, okay? You'll see it. You'll see it for the lesson it was, and off you go. All right? They're the only people with my manager's phone number is sending super messages to buy, so they are bringing buyers. Good. Miss Real, I got one this week. Congratulations. Good. I'm sure it's real, and it's about time for this log jam to end, and the dam can break and send the water downstream and, wipe out most of China. Hooray. The spiritual jam can break and flood Texas. Fantastic. Good. I have to listen later. Good. Glitchy video. Anyway, I'm finishing up, Jamie, and I wanted to get you this information and everyone else too. This relates to each of you individually, so that's good. There's probably a tax lady there cooking by Jamie and Benjamin, right? Okay, listen, we got through a lot this week. You're doing good. Okay, you're here. You got the fruits. You're doing great. You got your testimonials. You're watching over your family. You're doing your happiness. You're doing your careful life every day. You are doing that. You're literally doing that every day. There's nothing more you could do while you're in. You're doing that. You get feeling like you're in this pickle, in this spot. You're having some problems. I'm here for that. I'll bust that log jam. I'll say a prayer, and I'll give you the knowledge, and off you go back towards God. Not towards me, not towards whatever, right? To God. That's what I'm here for. Nope. Easy. Back on track. Here, let me get that wheel up on there. Boop. Off you go. Down the track, straight to God. That's all I care about. Okay. All right, everyone. So thanks for being here. We're going to say a prayer for each other before we get out of here. Jay, I'm going to go back and watch the week's show where you go over the death prayer. Yeah. Want to have that under my belt. 100%. You should. You should. Okay, good. J. Baba, praise Jesus Christ. Indeed. So we're going to say a prayer for each other. We're the ones on the path, right? Are they praying for us? No, we pray for them. We give them a Yelp review. Are they pray for us? No. Nah. It's up to you and me to pray for each other right now. And I'm going to remind you to do it right now. Everyone in this, right? Everyone who's listening, everyone is listening right now. I pray that God watches over you and changes everything in your life. So anything is in there that's not of God, that's not bringing you straight to God consciousness, to God realization, and Christian consciousness or Christ consciousness, bringing you home to God. I pray God removes it and you come straight to God. That's the point of this life. So I pray you get that, the ultimate gift from God. That's my prayer for you. Okay? Until next week. Awesome presentation. Thank you very much. Dear Baba, Jesus Christ, help us all in our spiritual journeys. Thank you so much. Okay, until next week. Thank you so much, really, again, for your support, for the donations. I couldn't be. You're doing your work on your end. I know you have learned it's hard. Yeah. You haven't made it to 7th play, but you're getting there. You're going to make this happen, okay? You are. Already made it. Think of the difficulties. And then be back in a body and sit here. So your support actually is what makes it so I literally physically can have the energy and the abilities to do this. It really, so thank you for that. And I'm going to continue to send everything your way that I can. All the knowledge, all the power, all my prayers to you for following the truth. And so God help us all. Okay? Until next week, thank you all. Jay Baba, God bless you.